to have had really divergent starts to them, begun their NESCAC campaign last weekend. On the other side, the Jumbos are struggling. Only played teams in the top 40. This is where we'll really find out about the Jumbos, what they are in terms of their ambitions for 20 transition as they develop with this younger squad. I mean, obviously so many players that were big pieces of that regional champion team a year ago that they lost. I think you have to start with the players up the middle. You lost your second best, the three-time NESCAC DPOY in Josie Steinberg. It's not going to be good for you. And the Jumbos have really struggled. And, of course, Michelle Edelman in center field. Jumbos doing their best to try and replace her, but it is a very difficult challenge for them. And so we'll see how they fare here today as they take on this Bowdoin squad that has really hit well to start the season. They have 16 games of the Polar Bears season before the national anthem. I'll be back in a minute as we get set for first pitch here on Spicer. Just minutes away for the past 5 or so years in the postseason has been a little bit of a different story. Have not won a NESCAC championship since 2021, falling short 3 consecutive years in the NESCAC tournament here on Spicer. But they know what it takes to get themselves in a spot. It is a goal for this team. When we talked to Sofia DeCoco in the fall, that they want to and get another number on the banner in terms of being NESCAC champions. And that mission starts 0 ERA, but has started to figure things out as of late. And when she gets going, which is usually about this time of year, good things happen for the Bows as we get set to, on this gorgeous Friday afternoon in Medford, Sofia DeCoco on the mound to face off against Annika Ewert, who will lead things off for the 9-7 Polar Bears.
Number 6, Annika Ewert.
Jumbo's infield in on both sides. Oliva in at third. At first, expecting DeCoco with the 0-1. Is slapped foul down the left field line, 0-2. But it looks as if they're going to stick with the 5 on the dirt. Good amount of horizontal movement there on that pitch from Sofia DeCoco. Just couldn't find the... And she'll do it, but will not get it in time. Crowd thought it was a good throw, but a little too fast from Ewert down that first. The first of the day. A leadoff hitter gets on for the Polar Bears. It'll bring up Penelope Fon-Picaneo, the 2-hitter for Bowdoin. Pitch out there, but runner not going. Ewert's been real fast on the year, 18 for 18 in solo base attempts. The 1-0. With the 2-0 count. And Eva, you saw that right away as the bunt is shown. DeCoco going to tag her out herself. That'll move the runner over.
Now batting number 11, Elise Siciliano.
As Elise Siciliano. Now comes set. The 1-1 back to DeCoco. Fires, fakes, Throws to first. Well done from Sophia DeCoco to hold the runner at third and get the out. And just like that, the Jumbos can take a sigh of relief. 2 down now. The first year from Napa, who slashes that one foul.
Yeah. Something to note about Riley Parga is that 18 hits this season. Someone to watch out for.
Chops that one back to DeCoco, who turns, fires, and escapes the first. So a good start for the Polar Bears. Ewart gets on.
No runs, no errors. Leading off for the Jumbos in the bottom of the first. Jimenez, Ferrucci, and Slayton.
You doing good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
The internet's horrible.
Yeah, I had my stuff, but Maddie Curran is currently running with a 2.89 ERA. Something interesting to note about her, though, is that she's made 11 wild pitches so far this season, the most on their team, and something to be aware of.
10, Bella Jimenez.
That definitely is a factor, especially if the Jumbos can for the Bows. Hitting .359 on the year so far. Lines that one into shallow right field. Going to be a play at first, but Jimenez will beat it out. For your home
17.
campaign.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
Sends that one straight up. Will be caught by Bradley at second for the first out. Ferrucci is known for that. You don't get a lot of time to talk when she's at bat. Loves to swing at the first pitch.
And it's not
Carrie Ann Slayton.
Slayton now steps in. Has really had to step up in the absence of some of the graduated seniors who used to hit in front of her in the lineup, now in the 3-hole. The 0-1 to Slayton is chopped to third, could be 2. 5, they will not relay it, so a 5-4 put out, and Slayton will reach on the fielder's choice.
both Tufts and Bowdoin are current.
It does. One person who could change that really quickly is Heaven Oliva. Has been the Jumbo's power thing you see very often. Neither is the fact that she has 32 total bases on only 13 hits.
She's made the most home runs in the entire NESCAC.
And there it is what you were talking about. That one almost got away on the pitch from Current, but a really nice job behind the plate from Sydney Lang to keep it in front of her. The 2-0 to the sophomore is hammered down the third baseline, but it'll be fired on to first. And after one, scoreless here at Spicer. Innings scoreless here for the Bows. Sydney Lang now going to step in for the Polar Bears to lead things off. Sends it foul. Jimenez actually caught that thing off the netting.
Yep.
0-1 chop to line back, a short, fires on to first.
On the Polar Bears.
Yeah, she's done a good job getting herself on base. And that's something that really we've seen a lot in the recent years in the NESCAC. Catchers who actually can provide offensive value. Slayton's done it for the Jumbos. Lang's done it for the Polar Bears. And it's really become something that's been expected of softball players at this level, that you have to at least be able to provide something offensively if you want to see the field. DeCoco showing off the versatility, goes up, goes down, and gets 2 quick strikes on Liv Barrett. Is away. Takoko has not changed from her freshman year to now. Still very deliberate in her delivery. The 1-2. I don't know, Eva. That looks pretty good from back here. She was one of 2 jumbos in the last 5 years. The 2-2. Hammered, but into the jumbo dugout. And I think one thing that gets underlooked, 3-time all-defensive player in the NESCAC, which is so valuable.
Yes. And that was after a pretty long time at bat for her. Yeah, but it doesn't matter as long as you get to a strikeout.
Coke Bradley from Ranchos Palos Verdes in California, where I imagine it's probably a little warmer than it is here in Medford right now. Sit on the backhand, fires to first, and a 1-2-3 inning for Takoko after 1.5. The jumbo lineup here, it'll be Harita, a utility player on the roster, but really a super
runs in. There's been a lot of slugging. The amount of times she hits hasn't been the highest on the team, but when she gets behind.
Get out of the way. Line back now, up to bat. Shows bunt. Is that going to get down? And that's the sort of awareness you need from a senior catcher around and getting that throw down. So,
if you give the runners any time to get around the bases, they are going to take it.
Especially, too, with this Jumbos team where everyone can run. And not only that, they love to. You give them an inch, it'll take 2 bags on you. The 1-1. Down the right field line and down. Harita's going to turn, head for third. Lineback will slam on the brakes at first, and the Jumbos have runners on the corners.
Yeah, in previous seasons, lineback has been known for more for her. Oh, are we still going? Okay. Yeah, in previous seasons, oops.
First and third for the Bows.
First and third.
Fallon O'Connor, someone who's also had a lot of improvement this year, stepping up to bat. And sends that one to second. Runner looked back. Advancing will be lineback. Harita will stay. And a very upset Lauren Epstein, who I think wanted O'Connor to take that pitch to allow the runner to steal second.
The center fielder, Lindsay Newman.
Lindsay Newman.
Best of both worlds?
Yes.
Well, I think the 2 worlds in softball could, that could be the 2 different ways that you play, in the field and behind the plate, possibly. So we'll have to see if she's as good on both sides.
It's a good year as a senior. Hits that one down the first base line, but it kicks fast. Instead, it's strike 2 to Newman.
Yeah, it went right between
the 0-2. Upstairs, and a nice take from Newman. To shallow right field. We'll see if Harita goes. She is coming. Throw is coming to the plate. Harita backs off. Runner caught in a pickle. And diving back is lineback. But another squandered opportunity for the Jumbos.
The right fielder, Kat Kawabe.
And it'll bring up the first-year Kat Kawabe in her first at-bat here at Spicer. And she's got a chance to do some damage.
Yeah. First at bat at Spicer, but she's had more playing time than any other freshman on the Jumbos team. So she could be the one to finally get a score in this game.
At bat here in the second inning, because you have to get Kawabe out if you're current. You don't want to see Bella Jimenez with the bases loaded.
Absolutely not.
The 1-0. Flared down the right field line and foul.
That must be pretty dispiriting for a player running around the bases if you get all the way to home before you learn that it's landed outside.
It is, but this is a Jumbos team that has the mental fortitude to deal with things like that. They were an inning away from going home in the regional a year ago before coming back against Rochester. That one chopped off her foot for strike 2.
Things are getting tense here at Spiker. 2 strikes, 2 outs, two players on the bases. This is the moment where
the 1-2. Downstairs, nice block by Lang. The 2-run double for Kat Kawabe in her first at-bat here at Spicer.
Certainly a great way to kick off the home part of their season. The Jumbos have spent
a good start.
10, Bella Jimenez.
Jimenez looking to get back to 4-2. The 2-0 catches the top of the zone on a nice riser there from Current.
Someone who can certainly bring not just herself, but another player, as now we can see running. But that's the end of the inning.
Yeah, good job defensively there from Siciliano. But after 2, the Jumbos take a 2-0 lead.
The Jumbos jump out.
On the mound, Ellie Sullivan up to bat here for the Polar Bears in this third, and takes strike 1 on the outside corner.
Yep. Ellie Sullivan, she can pitch, she can also hit.
So valuable and so the 3rd best average on this Bowdoin. 0-2-0. Crowd starting to fill in here on this nice afternoon. The 2-2 is chopped back off to Coco's glove.
Getting 2 scores at the top of this inning. I mean, or not.
And a really great job on that play from Haley Lineback, because looked like she was going to have to go left. Then DeCoco stabbed at it with the glove. It deflected back to her backhand. Little excuse me swing down the 3rd baseline. That'll go for a hit from Kyla Gary. 400, but was able to get herself on base.
Hard and that hit big and hard, known for the slugging. And then there are also players that
average on the year through 16 plus.
She gets on base, which is a slightly different stat, but equally insane.
They do not want to let her play small ball against their defense in the entire right half of the
strikes. DeCoco must be thinking about how nice it would be to get such a heavy hitter off of the plate.
DeCoco on the 3rd baseline. As that one chopped, going to be taken by Lineback, fires to first in time. Oh, wow. And now 2 on with 1 out for the Polar Bears. And 2 infield singles on the day for Ewert. First time she was stranded at 3rd. And an RBI single there off the bat of Fong Picareo to make it 2-1.
Has been on a walk, but that doesn't mean you should forget about her ability to hit, as we just saw. And it got the first run for Bowdoin this game.
Here's the first one back into the netting.
The shortstop.
2 under with all the technological advances and changes we've seen, how long lighting to make the play, throw home.
Now in this game, Tufts is coming off of a 4-game losing streak, Bowdoin off of a 3-game losing streak. They are both, I'd imagine, pretty desperate to win this one. And
interesting sport at the NESCAC level because of the way the NESCAC tournament works, with a 8-team single elimination tournament after this 18-game regular season. All you got to do is get yourself into the Parga trying to put the Polar Bears in front. The 1-1. Slow roller, 2 line back, sets her feet.
Hits, no errors, and 1.
Phenomenal start to her junior season, but really, it's just a continuation of what she's done her whole career.
First baseman Caitlin Ferrucci.
yes, her batting average is the highest on the team, keeping up that percentage, that accomplishment. But something, and put the most players at.
We're traditionally accustomed to seeing from Ferrucci. Snag by the second basewoman Bradley. That highlight reel snag from J.K. Bradley.
You have to admit when a catch is just good.
Slayton first pitch swinging sends it in to the seats. The facilities people didn't listen to my normal messages about not parking next to one, but once again, Bradley secures it for the F. So bring up Oliva here. No one on base, but she'll still swing away, looking to clean up and get the jumbo from Current. And that one
You just have to wonder how many of those are mistakes and how much of it are the pitchers a little.
Seems like that's Current's fault. The 3-0 is upstairs. And the umpire telling her that
I think that can be a bit of a.
It's back, and gone! A home run!
Walking someone to get them off the plate. What happens?
First pitch swinging.
The linebacker.
One.
So we would expect good control of the bat.
And that's really where she's improved from a year ago. You do in the offseason can pay big dividends.
2 walks so soon after each other with 2 outs on the board is.
5 of them have come with 2 outs. Only Bowdoin's first.
Yeah, but it also seems like their batters are doing well at performing under pressure.
For strike 1. Is hammered back up the middle. Diving play. Can she get to the bag? Yes, she can. The F2. For about to begin. It'll be Lang, then Barrett for Bowdoin.
Sydney Lang.
Down.
Yes. Sydney Lang is another catcher who is very versatile and able to both play well behind the plate and.
And the fact that she's doing things like that. Epstein probably a little more willing to let her pitch more pitches with her not having to go again
Quickly.
I think you have to give more credit to the Polar. All right, it's Friday, and I guess we're taking a 3-hour
Home game.
Definitely with that. Crowd is telling the home.
Sven hasn't had as many chances at the plate as some of the other players.
DeCoco looks in. Now comes home. Missed high. He's feeling good. He'll give you that call, but not today. It is interesting, DeCoco.
In a game where so much of it is
ball, or is it just like a mental thing?
Maybe having a bit of...
That one hammered to right. The freshman who does it all.
I'd been trying to look out into the outfield.
And I think the home plate umpire has run out of softballs. I'd say it's might be the fastest I've ever seen a home plate umpire run out of softballs here at Spicer.
Hits fouls off of right side.
That one chopped to Jimenez. She'll fire onto first. A point, 4-2 Bows. To the heart of the jumbo lineup here, and Lindsey Newman will lead off this fourth. Jumbo's looking to get...
Lindsey Newman.
Already have 5 hits.
Yeah, certainly a lot of power behind it, but just not in the right direction.
The 0-1. Same spot.
2 strikes before anything else happens.
Catches the top of the zone. And a 3-pitch K of Lindsey Newman made some headlines, both off that. But it gets through. And for the second time.
Sleeve was the ability to get on first.
It is. They will charge that, an E5 there. Busting it down that first baseline. Big-time hitter coming to the plate. Perucci digging in. Swings first pitch, flares it. That's going to drop, and it will be an infield single on a ball that went about 6 feet. Spin that no one was quite sure where that ball was going to land until it hit the dirt. With 2 on the pond for her. See if she can bring the Ducks home. Slayton on the year, 277, has 6.
He keeps playing, and this is why.
That's going to go.
It seems like they could be.
As a visit on the mound from Jen Burton, the pitching coach for the Polar Bear. And it is getting dangerously close to the point where we do start to have to think about the mercy rule up way at this point between these two teams here. To their ball 1. Harita on deck. Oliva went for the fences, but got fooled by the off speed.
Slugging percentage is something to note. But slugging isn't just hitting. It depends on having people on base. So she does well when there's someone already out, like we're seeing now.
Upstairs for strike 3. Oh, after 4, 6-2 Jumbos. To the rubber, whereas the Jumbos just keep pouring gas on.
From the American flag in the video, the wind is picking up here. Sometimes even the wind can't help you if there's just someone right in the right place to catch your ball.
I think that's the very came right to their second basewoman for out number 1. Fall play you often see from the 9-hitter where you have that slap swing. Before finally DeCoco comes back into the rubber. Speed cheese. Get a second consecutive 1-2-3 inning defensively.
Maybe the Polar Bears will be able to steal a little bit of that getting hits with 2 outs momentum that the Jumbos have had all game.
Everybody's making highlight reel plays for the Jumbos today.
No hits, no errors, and
We go to the bottom of the fifth. 6-2 Jumbo.
Sorry, I don't know. Scored at the start of this game 8 runs scored and 2 home runs, but made an extremely challenging catch.
The 1-1 is upstairs to that Bowdoin bullpen. And a big
We'll have to see what happens with this next pitch. But now that we are at 3 balls and 2 strikes, probably.
She does not. That one gets down. And a hard hit single for Lauren. This will bring up Haley Line back.
Now batting number 8.
Top position. Could be a bit of a pitch out there. Get the 6-4-3. It'll be a fielder's choice.
Yeah, last 2 batters functionally swap places at first base, but now it's a
Newman on deck. And if it gets past her,
it has to feel great to be her right now. First home game at
a bad swing and a miss from O'Connor. Exact spot. And this time the Jumbos Carella to lead off this Bowdoin 6th. Last time
Leading off
for certain a 4-run deficit.
1 down. 8 consecutive outs now of the Polar Bears since those 2 runs in the 3rd inning. Here's Perucci with the stretch. 2 pitches, 2 outs in the 6th. Those look to get potentially the rare 3-pitch inning.
The risk with that is that
that one's 6-2 Bose.
Unfortunately, the same power that lets someone get 3
point there. We're gonna actually stay on air here. That was so like the way DeCoco's dealing right now, Eva. They might not even need it.
DeCoco is a grad student. She spent a long time on the Jumbos team, and so far this year, her pitching, having back on home turf, having a bit of an improvement.
At the bottom of the lineup, and Kat Kawabe here in the 6th. Has a hit. That one's Trent. As ranging over was Ewert. As Jimenez digs in, knees for strike 1. Shows bunt, keeping that inner glove. Stop myself, they called that play dead. Not entirely sure when or where. And it doesn't matter because Jimenez looks at that one for strike 3.
What are they going to do next?
Well, it's weird. For the first time since the 1st inning, that one upstairs for ball 1. Got to imagine she might have the green light the way she's been swinging. Takes that one at the knees for strike 1.
Solid strike, not a ball, and she has probably the best chance.
Field hit. As that one looked to have hit something, maybe a the Jumbos don't particularly care. It means they got another runner on, but she made the most of it. Result, Slayton slaps it into the outfield. And more importantly, the runner, or the batter on deck, in Lauren Harita. Oliva could win it with one swing of the bat.
Yeah, and something we know about Oliva is ball out there and getting people on bases in. So it would not come as a shock.
Or excuse me, they called that a strike. Did not see the umpire on. Current looks in. Runner is held at second, and RBI sing.
Bowdoin has been having a bit of a rough.
And it looks as if Lauren Epstein might be making a substitution here, potentially on the base paths. For Oliva, and wants to win this game now, rather than have to send Dakoko out.
Got to do it all over again.
Now batting, number 19, Lauren Harita.
That one upstairs for ball 2.
2 outs on the scoreboard, an ominous sign.
That one is going to be squibbed up in use.
Tenacity and continuing to try in this game, because I mean, if I'd been running for that, not on this team.
Harita, the winning run on scoring position here for the Bows, and it looks as if Bowdoin's going to make a pitch. As out to talk to his team is Ryan Sullivan, the Bowdoin head coach. It would definitely be a show. Seen crazy things already today.
Yeah, and Bowdoin's pitching strategy, Hester Catholic
been going. You might want a decision from the Bowdoin coaching staff. Chase the off speed as she wanted. Newman on deck. Should it get there? That one taken for strike 2 from O'Connor.
Could get the Polar Bears out of this unfortunate situation.
It is the trade-off, as O'Connor showed what she can do if you leave a pitch up, but couldn't straighten it out. Throw to third in time, and they get the force. So we will go to a 7. Welcome back here to the Polar Bears Don't Come Back, is that we cannot, in game 2 of this doubleheader, let the Jumbos score 8 runs with 2 outs.
For sure. I don't know what it signifies when a pitcher or a defense just fall apart when the pressure is on the most, but it's not how you win games.
That is without question true. And it is a fundamental question that the Polar Bears are going to have to solve in the 30 minutes between these two. But they're not done yet. Sydney Lang steps in here. They're looking for something to give them a sense of life in this game. Oh, 0-1 bounced in there. Stopped by Slayton.
The catcher, number 16, Sydney Lang.
Jumbo's infield on their toes as they're ready for Dakoko's 1-1. Which misses outside, much to the chagrin of the Jumbo parents. 2-1 shot down the third base line. Fair ball saved, fired by Oliva, and she got her. A cannon from heaven. For ball 1.
The first baseman, number 8, Liv Barrett.
The 1-0. Not a strike.
Yeah, another ball here at the presumably tail end of this game. You have to wonder if Tekoko's getting a little bit tired after playing this entire time.
I think that is the correct interpretation of this pitches. That one's going to flare. Almost did it again. Did Kawabe. If she had gotten to that one, I don't know what I would have done.
Well, it would have certainly been something to talk about for the rest of the season. Yeah.
There really isn't a spot in this Spicer Field outfield other than the dirt where if you put a ball, you're 100% sure the Jumbos aren't going to go run it down with the speed.
Excuse me, correction, number 13, Davies. Now batting for the Polar Bears, Bradley.
Ella Davies going to pinch run for the Polar Bears as J.K. Bradley steps in to bat.
This is precisely what Davies does on the team. She's only been truly up to bat once, but 2 walks, 2 stolen bases, a few more unsuccessful attempts to steal bases. She is fast. She is sneaky. This is what she does.
Would imagine she might look to go here just to prevent the possibility of an inning-ending and game-ending double play. Doesn't go there as that one misses down low. And you have to wonder, if you're Lauren Epstein, at what point you think about having a pitching change if Tekoko's struggling to find the zone. 2-0, line into right center. That's going to get down. She tagged the runner at second.
But now there's another run.
And Bowdoin just continues to go do some running on second base.
Yeah,
that is definitely a factor. Get this done now. That one flared into right field. Kamabe runs it down for out number 2, and the Jumbos run out away. In the one less so.
It looks like the
Great game for Sophia. The Jumbos score 8 runs with.
Yeah, this is much needed for the Jumbos. As I've said before, they've just ended a 4-game losing mental state at the very least.
It does. I'd like to thank the other members of our crew, John Arexabaleta,